Hello and welcome to a new video. And in this video, you're gonna accompany me in my trip to Berlin, which actually happened last November. And I've been thinking what I want to talk about while showing you the beauty of Berlin. And I realized that there are actually a few things that I want to talk about while I'm showing you the city which I never saw before. And these things are connection of traveling and creativity, and also importance of traveling alone, and also curiosity of solo traveling, and also weird change that happened with me after I immigrated twice over the last 3 years, and I kind of lost almost every desire to travel. So let's go. And first of all, I really want to say that traveling always boosted my creativity, because while I travel, I usually try to journal as much as I can, and I try to make photos and videos, and some photos, they are beautiful to post them as photos, but some of them are just like sketches for future ideas. And I really wanted to sketch more shop fronts, and I think that maybe it's even better to do it in real life, but sometimes during the travel it's not feasible. And believe me or not, but to travel to Berlin I chose very unlikely month of November, and you may ask why. And I would tell you that I lived my whole life in Moscow, and in Moscow my favorite months were October and November, because it's the coziest time to get inspired, to go to an art supply store, to sit at the cafe and sketch, or to sit at home and paint, or read snuggishly in the armchair, and to discuss books and get ready to Halloween and everything. And of course, in Spain we also have some November activities, but no offense here, but Spain is not gloomy enough. So I went to Berlin to find my gloomy inspiration, because I'm very northern person, and as much as I love Spain and I kind of learn new things about me, about my art, and about what I actually like, I still miss the gloom. And it may be a little bit controversial when Northern Hemisphere dwellers, they kind of tell me, yeah, it's kind of March now and we're still in the gloom state, and you in your Spain just being cozy and sunny at the seaside. I mean, yes, but also, I'm sorry guys and gals, I really like gloom. So going to Berlin meant imbuing myself with the gloom and inspiration. So I wanted to go to Berlin for gloom and for Café France and for inspiration and for art stores and bookstores, and to see the remnants of the wall and to see the history that unfolded in this city. And I visited my beautiful friend Zhenya, and she was the best guide to the city that anyone can imagine. And she also showed me places a little bit outside of Berlin, which were even more beautiful to me. If you know me, you can understand that going to the forest is much more interesting to me than going into the concrete jungle at the moment. And I also visited my beautiful friend from Ukraine who now lives in Berlin, and I also, believe me or not, I took a swim in this cold lake, and it was very cold, and yeah, I loved it, but later about that. What I also wanted to talk about is that after I immigrated twice over the last 3 years, kind of traveling stopped being exciting to me, you know. Packing a backpack, packing a suitcase stopped being a thrill, stopped being something that I anticipate, and it became like a burden more or less, and also unnecessarily waste of money, you know. And lately, over the last few years, mostly I did traveling because of the necessity, because I needed to go to see my parents, or I needed to do bureaucracy paperwork, and I quite rarely traveled for joy lately. And this trip to Berlin kind of revoked that, because there was, like, except seeing my friends, there was no must in this trip. I just enjoyed life, and I enjoyed being, and I enjoyed being separate from my family and not taking care about anybody, just about me. And to be honest, I mostly was taken care of, and that was really, really something that my mental health needed, because when you are being taken care of, you can allow yourself to spend more time on your own creativity and on your own desires, and that's something precious. And whenever you go somewhere, I urge you to do what you really want, not do something that, like, anybody awaits from you, from the best things you can do in this place. Do your own best thing. Like, for me, this best thing is swimming anywhere I find it possible to do. And for example, here I'm swimming in a very cold lake. It was like +9, the water was +9, I think. And of course I screamed, and of course I didn't swim for a long time, but it felt so good. It's also very, very, very favorite thing of mine to swim naked. Of course I had to censor everything for the video, but I really recommend it to you. If you have never swam naked, try it. I really, really recommend it to anybody. So being there in Berlin with my friend, around the lake, in the streets of Prenzlauer Berg, I felt inspired, and I brought a lot of this inspiration back to Spain. And I think that that's very important, to learn again, to find this inspiration after, like, big turmoils that life offers anybody. And I bet a lot of you also had very, very big changes happening to you over the last 5 years. And this travel, this trip I made to Berlin, I want to remember it as something that I gifted to myself, and I did only what I wanted to do, and I didn't do what I have to do. And I went to this place in the time that I wanted to go to, not at the, like, presumably best time. So yeah, I'm wrapping up this video with the idea that sometimes it's really hard to predict what can happen, And in this video, in the end, you will see something very unpredictable that happened. And tell me in the comments if that happened to you as well. Like when something you didn't expect it, but it happened, and it was like pure joy. Because whenever we do something that's aligned with ourselves, I think surprises like that happen. And that's it. It was snowing in Berlin in November, and it was the first snow of the season. And I haven't seen snow for quite a while. And I miss snow because I used to live in a climate region that has a lot of snow in winter. And yeah, it happened with me in Berlin, and it made me absolutely and insanely happy. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next one.